There is a clock inside your body that has nothing to do with birthdays. It's not about the number of candles on your cake, but about the health of your cells. For many of us, as we move past 60, we begin to feel a subtle shift, a change that's hard to put into words. It's not a specific ache or a diagnosed illness. It's the feeling that our energy reserves are just a little bit shallower than they used to be, that our resilience in the face of a stressful day has waned. It's the quiet frustration of knowing you have so much wisdom and joy to offer the world, but feeling like your physical body is struggling to keep up. This feeling, this quiet decline, is not just in your head. It's written into your very DNA. But what if I told you that you have more influence over that biological clock than you've ever been led to believe? Hello, I'm Dr. Emily Hart, and for over 15 years, I've had the privilege of helping women navigate the changes in their bodies with clarity and compassion. This space is for us, a place to understand our health, not as a problem to be fixed, but as a journey to be honored. If you're looking for a community that supports your well-being with grace and wisdom, I invite you to subscribe to the channel, and I would love to get to know you. Please tell me in the comments, where are you watching from? It fills my heart to know where this community of strong, vibrant women comes together. Today, we're going to talk about one of the most fascinating secrets of healthy aging: the biological clock found on the ends of your DNA. Now, I know DNA can sound intimidating, but I want you to imagine something much simpler. Think of a shoelace. At the very end of that shoelace, there's a little plastic tip, right? That little tip keeps the shoelace from fraying and unraveling. Without it, the whole thing falls apart. Well, your chromosomes, which hold all your genetic information, have their own version of these protective tips. They're called telomeres. Every time one of your cells divides, which it does billions of times throughout your life, these telomeres get a tiny bit shorter. Over the years, as they shorten, our cells age. They can't repair themselves as efficiently. This is the natural process of aging. It's why our skin loses some of its elasticity, our joints feel a bit stiffer, and why it takes us a little longer to bounce back from a cold. But here is the crucial part. Certain things in our lives can cause these telomeres to shorten much faster. It's like running with scissors and accidentally snipping the ends of your shoelaces. Things like chronic stress, inflammation, and a sedentary lifestyle can accelerate this fraying process. The good news, the wonderful, empowering news, is that the opposite is also true. There are gentle, natural ways to protect these telomeres and even encourage our bodies to repair them. Today, we'll explore 3 powerful ways you can begin to slow down this biological clock and reclaim your vitality. Our first focus is on the silent accelerator of aging: chronic stress. We often wear stress like a badge of honor, especially women who have spent a lifetime caring for others. We juggle, we manage, we worry. But that constant, low-grade hum of anxiety, the worry about our children, the financial concerns, the health of a spouse, takes a profound physical toll. It's that feeling of being perpetually on, where even in moments of quiet, your mind is still racing, making lists and solving problems. I remember a patient of mine, a wonderful woman named Carol. At 68, she was the primary caregiver for her husband. Her days were a blur of appointments, medications, and household chores. She told me, "Emily, I can't remember the last time I just sat down and did nothing. I feel like if I stop moving, everything will fall apart." Her shoulders were permanently tensed up to her ears. She wasn't sleeping well, and she felt a deep, penetrating fatigue that no amount of coffee could touch. Carol's body was flooded with stress hormones, particularly cortisol. Here's the science made simple. Think of cortisol as a constant drip of mild acid on those protective caps of your DNA. Over time, that acidic environment speeds up the shortening of your telomeres. Your body is in a state of high alert, and it sacrifices long-term maintenance like cellular repair for short-term survival. Carol's loving devotion was biologically accelerating her own aging process. The solution for Carol and for so many of us was not to eliminate the stress, that was impossible, but to introduce moments of profound peace. We started with something incredibly simple, a 5-minute breathing practice. I asked her to find a quiet corner twice a day, close her eyes, and focus only on her breath, inhaling slowly for a count of 4, holding for a moment, and exhaling for a count of 6. That's it. First, she felt it was selfish, but within 2 weeks, she noticed a change. The frantic energy in her chest began to soften. She was sleeping a bit more deeply. This simple act of mindful breathing was sending a powerful signal to her nervous system. You are safe. It was turning down the cortisol drip. Studies from Nobel Prize-winning scientist Dr. Elizabeth Blackburn have shown that practices like meditation and mindfulness can actually increase the activity of an enzyme called telomerase, which helps repair and lengthen our telomeres. The tangible benefit for Carol was a renewed sense of calm and resilience. The invisible benefit was the protection of her very cells. You have the power to press the pause button. You deserve to create these small sanctuaries of peace for yourself. The second way we can protect our vitality is through a specific kind of movement. As we get older, there's a pervasive myth that we should take it easy. We become fearful of a fall, worried about an injury. That fear is understandable, but it can cause our world to shrink. We stop taking the long walk, we give up gardening, we say no to dancing at a family wedding. We begin to feel fragile, and our bodies respond accordingly. I think of my patient, Margaret. She was 72 and used to be an avid walker. But after a minor stumble, she became terrified of falling. She started spending most of her days indoors, reading or watching television. She told me her legs felt weak, her balance was off, and she'd get out of breath just walking to the mailbox. Her body wasn't just getting older, it was getting deconditioned from lack of use. Her fear was creating the very fragility she was afraid of. The science here is truly inspiring. Remember that enzyme I mentioned, telomerase? The one that acts like a repair crew for your telomeres? Well, exercise is one of the most powerful ways to call that crew into action. Specifically, studies show that moderate aerobic exercise like brisk walking, swimming, or cycling is fantastic for stimulating telomerase. Doesn't have to be a marathon. We're talking about moving your body enough to get your heart rate up and feel pleasantly warm. Furthermore, combining this with strength training, even simple bodyweight exercises, has an even greater effect. For Margaret, our plan was gentle and gradual. We started with chair squats, simply standing up from a seated position and sitting back down 10 times in a row twice a day. This began to rebuild strength in her legs without the fear of falling. Then we added short, 5-minute walks around her garden, focusing on her posture and her stride. Over a few months, those 5-minute walks became 10, then 20. She joined a water aerobics class at her local community center. The change was remarkable. Not only did her physical strength and balance improve dramatically, but her confidence soared. She was no longer a prisoner in her own home. She was sending a powerful message to her cells every single day. We are strong. We are capable. We need to rebuild. Movement is not about punishment or pushing through pain. It's a celebration of what your body can do. And it is one of the most direct ways to tell your DNA to stay healthy and long. Our third and final key is what we put on our plate. So many of us struggle with a feeling of low-grade inflammation. It shows up as nagging joint pain, morning stiffness, a bit of brain fog, or even digestive discomfort. We might think it's just a normal part of getting older, but it's often a sign of a body in distress. Susan, a client of mine at 65, was a perfect example. She ate what she thought was a healthy diet: toast for breakfast, a sandwich for lunch, pasta for dinner. But she was plagued by aching knees and a persistent lack of mental clarity. She felt puffy and sluggish. She told me, "I just feel inflamed, like my whole body is smoldering." She was exactly right. Here's the science. Inflammation is the body's natural response to injury or infection. It's a good thing in the short term, But when our diet is full of processed foods, sugars, and unhealthy fats, it can trigger a state of chronic, low-level inflammation. This creates an internal environment of what scientists call oxidative stress. Think of it like rust on metal. This constant oxidative stress is incredibly damaging to our cells, and it aggressively wears down our telomeres. The solution is not a restrictive, joyless diet. It's about flooding your body with anti-inflammatory, antioxidant-rich foods. The simplest way to do this is to add color to your plate. Every meal is an opportunity to fight that fire from the inside out. We worked with Susan to make small, delicious additions. Instead of just toast, she added a handful of antioxidant-rich blueberries and walnuts to a bowl of oatmeal. For lunch, she added a large side salad full of dark leafy greens like spinach, a powerhouse of nutrients. For dinner, she swapped her regular pasta for a piece of salmon, rich in anti-inflammatory omega-3 fatty acids, served with roasted broccoli and sweet potatoes. She wasn't depriving herself, she was nourishing herself. Within a month, the ache in her knees had noticeably subsided. She said the fog in her head felt like it was finally lifting. The tangible benefits were clear, but the work she was doing on a cellular level was just as profound. She was giving her body the tools it needed to quench the fires of inflammation and protect the very blueprint of her life. Every colorful meal was an act of profound self-care, a way of cooling and calming her body from within. So, you see, this biological clock is not some sealed fate you have no control over. It responds to your choices, to your care, to your attention. By calming your mind, moving your body with intention, and nourishing your cells with vibrant foods, you are actively participating in your own well-being. This journey isn't about trying to look 40 again. It's about feeling vibrant, strong, and joyful at 60, 70, 80, and beyond. It's about having the energy to play with your grandchildren, the clarity to share your wisdom, and the vitality to live every chapter of your life to the fullest. Your body has an incredible, innate capacity for healing and renewal. You are the steward of your own wellness, and every small, kind choice you make is a deposit into your health bank account. You are worthy of this care. You are deserving of this vitality. I would love to hear from you. In the comments below, please share one small, gentle change you might be inspired to try this week. Will it be a 5-minute breathing break? A short walk around the block? Adding a handful of berries to your breakfast? Sharing our intentions makes them stronger and reminds us that we are not on this journey alone. Thank you for sharing this time with me. Until next time, be well and be so very kind to yourself.